Good afternoon, everybody. Doug Hollingsworth with you right here. Marc is out and about on the campaign trail, so we wish him all the best there. Certainly, we can throw that out. Early voting started this week, so make sure you get out and vote. It is your right as an American citizen, so get out and vote. We've got some fun things going to be happening today, but we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in around Monroe here tonight. But first off, we need to welcome back my lovely co-host and wife, Judy Hollingsworth, and she's back in the studio with us. Good afternoon, dear. How are you?
I am great. I am so excited to be here. It's going to be a great show today. I'm excited to talk about where we are going. I'm excited to celebrate this weekend with you. We know we're celebrating your birthday. So let's get going.
Let's get going. Let's make sure everybody knows tonight, which is always one of my fun times of the year, the Downtown Monroe starts their concert series tonight on Tavern Green, and we have the Tams tonight. So yeah, if you want to do a little R&B there, and they're from Atlanta. Okay. How about that? Fine. You know, we're big in the 60s, did go into 70s and some 80s, but
I think it's going to be a little chilly, so be sure you bring a jacket when you bring your chairs out.
Yes. Absolutely. Streets close about 5:30, and they got some food trucks going to be there. If it's going to be this cold, Chastity, I think the Hollingsworth probably won't go, but we don't know yet. We'll see how that happens. So make sure the Tams tonight, first Friday night of every month, except on July, which kind of coincides with July 4th and a few things going on around the United States on July 4th this week. But make sure to get out. It is a lot of fun. Bring your neighbors, bring your chairs, your blankets, the food, whatever you want to do. Anyway, we are excited about today because this is one of my favorite places, but we're going to let our co-hosts start us off and introduce us where we're going.
Absolutely. We want to welcome you to Sweet Tea Travels. Every destination has a story with us, and today we are stepping back to the place where America's story truly began. We are heading to Virginia's historic triangle. That's Williamsburg and Jamestown and Yorktown. These are three small towns, but they are packed with history and charm and really some very surprisingly modern experiences. This is where our English settlement was really truly established. This is independence debated. The Revolutionary War happened there. We've got the Battle of Williamsburg. And if you've been thinking about going, now is the time to book that trip. The entire region is preparing for America's 250th birthday. Celebrations have already begun. So we're talking about reenactments and waterfront views and incredible food and some hidden gems. And I've got a few Judy's picks that you do not want to miss. So grab yourself some sweet tea and let's hit the road.
Here we go. We got to have some sweet tea. Sweet Tea Travels every Friday right here on the Marc McMain show, especially for the next few weeks. We're excited about being with you every Friday, and we appreciate Marc and the ladies here allowing us to sit in and talk to you about travel. Had a great show last week with the Golf with Dad guys. Appreciate them coming in. But today, yes, we are talking about one of my favorite places to go. Anytime you go every year for over 35 years, it must be a very special place. So this area is the historical triangle, which I've talked to many people about, as Judy just mentioned, Williamsburg, Jamestown, and Yorktown, and certainly the significance in the history of our country and what that means. But we have so much to tell you about what's going to be happening this year. If you're thinking about going on a trip, this would be an ideal trip for couple, the family. Take the kids out this summer. Anytime, if you get a chance to go to this area, please just take them off and go. You actually, we'll talk about it later, they have cams throughout the colonial Williamsburg portion of it, so you can tune in and see what's going on there. But so much to see and do. So let's talk a little bit about the travel. We got to get there. Okay, so we'll be back and forth with a few things, and let's talk to Judy and say, okay, Judy, what's the best place to plan your trip if you were going to head from, let's just say, Atlanta?
All right, so if you're going to go to the Tri-City area, the colonial Tri-City area from Atlanta, you've got options. If you want to drive, you can certainly do that. It is a long drive. We have done that many times. It's maybe 8 or 9 hours to drive from Atlanta, but you can certainly fly. There's multiple airports to fly into. There's Richmond, Newport News, Norfolk. We typically drive because we're going to have our car there, but that is obviously your choice. So what do you like to do?
Well, let me correct you, which I usually don't get to do anyway. It's Norfolk.
Oh, my goodness.
It's Norfolk. It's not Norfolk. Okay, it's Norfolk.
How do you spell that?
It's just go down and ask them. Virginia Beach, down there in that area as well. But here, I've always wanted to know. We have this huge area around Atlanta. We have one airport. They have this beautiful area up there. They have 3 major airports within an hour and a half of each other. Anyway, well, one of my favorite things to do is certainly drive. A good friend of mine and I go up every year and play golf and just have a great week. And we like to drive because it's certainly things we can catch up on. I don't get to see them that often. But we want to make sure that y'all try to go over the Jamestown, Scotland ferry, which actually goes over the James River. So you head up, you get into Virginia, and you go into like Richmond off I-85, and then about halfway up before you get to before you get to Richmond off I-85, you can take a right and go across country about an hour or so until you hit the James River, and you get to go on a ferry. And if you've never been on a ferry, that's first thing. That's a really cool thing to do. They run constantly, so there's one on the Jamestown side, there's one on the Surrey side of Virginia, and it runs constantly, 24/7, 365. So, but it's really cool. Get out, take some pictures. You can walk around. They have restrooms on the ferry. Didn't take but probably 20 minutes to get across the James River. And they pull up right at the Jamestown Park, where certainly the settlers came in 1607, and it's just really, really neat. We're going to talk a little bit more about Jamestown. And then you head up to Williamsburg or wherever your destination is, and then we turn around and we leave when we leave and go back down the Jamestown, Scotland ferry, which is right there in Surrey, Georgia. But that would be my recommendation. Certainly, if you're in a bind, the Richmond Airport is south of Richmond, so it's closer towards Williamsburg off I-64. There, the I-64 goes across Virginia for the most part. So you certainly would take that. You can fly into Newport News, smaller airport, and you can go down to Norfolk and take that and come up. So you have a lot of different options. So certainly plan your trip right. We're going to be talking about budgetary items and enjoying your whole trip. So depending on how fast you need to get up there versus taking your time and going from there. So I know we've talked and looked at certainly Airbnb type programs and things. Those are always fun to do, but we're going to get more into things there. So tell us a little bit about that, Judy.
Absolutely. So I do want to mention how much I enjoy that ferry. Well, the first time we did that, love that. So if you do drive, definitely take the ferry. But Airbnb is a popular choice when people travel. And if that's your preference, Yorktown has some great options on the York River. If you're staying with family and you need a bigger place to stay, you and I typically stay in Colonial Williamsburg, and you can actually stay in a tavern or one of the colonial houses for a more immersive experience, which is to die for. If you want to explore that option, visit colonialwilliamsburg.org for more information. There's so many different price points of hotels and condos and townhomes that are perfect for families and groups if you're traveling with a group. You can also visit williamsburg.com. That's williamsburg.com for more information. So that site will include Jamestown and Yorktown, and you can request a visitor's guide if you're planning in advance and get a little bit more information. So I'm going to tell you again that we love staying in Colonial Williamsburg, and you can stay in a tavern or a colonial house if you want a little bit more immersive experience. We've stayed in a place that you can tell us about a little bit, where you stay with your friend. Tell us about that, Doug.
Well, certainly, Williamsburg is the area that you will stay in. Jamestown is certainly a nice park type thing. They have a museum. We'll talk a little bit about that. You can drive over to Yorktown, which we will talk about. Certainly, they have places over there to stay and eat. But for the most part, you're going to want to stay around Williamsburg. And they have so many different levels of budgetary hotels, motels, condos, and we stay in a townhouse condo, and depending on the price of the year, we get it as little as $50 a person per night, and it's just fantastic. It's got your different 2 or 3 bedrooms you can stay in, your kitchenette type thing, and you're just within minutes of actually downtown Colonial Williamsburg, which is fantastic. So some of the colonial things that we stayed in, the lodge is fantastic. The Williamsburg Lodge is there in Colonial Williamsburg. The Williamsburg Inn is a little upscale. Like Judy was saying, you can stay in a colonial house if you'd like to. You can stay with 7 or 8, 9, 10 people. They have different size houses. If you'd like to stay in a tavern right on Main Street, they have those available that she mentioned. These things are all things you can look up there at colonialwilliamsburg.org and find out more information about everything that you can certainly see and do there in Colonial Williamsburg. So, again, a lot of fun, a lot of things to see and do in that area. You're only about 45 minutes from Yorktown. Not that far, sorry. I'm about maybe 35 minutes from Yorktown. You're about 45 minutes from Richmond. And then you can head on over to Charlottesville. So, Richmond is what do you want to call it? The capital of the Confederacy. That's probably the best way to put that. And so that's kind of funny that Richmond and Washington, D.C. were so close to each other during the Civil War. A lot of time things in terms of history. So you have the Revolutionary War now with Colonial Williamsburg, and you have the Civil War that they actually did have a battle in Williamsburg area. So much to understand, see. When you first get there, though, your best bet is to probably go to the guest visitor center. You'll want to pick up buy your passes for the day or the week to go into some of the buildings there in Colonial Williamsburg. And some of these buildings are not open every day. You can, if you don't want to buy anything, it's totally free. You can walk around. You can see certainly the outside of a lot of places. You can't go into some of the fun things like the gunsmith and the Molinary type program, the bookbinder, things that they can show you how they make books. So there's a lot of things that you can't do, but there's things that you can do. You walk around the gardens. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And if I can reiterate again, this is the largest outdoor museum in the world. This is something that's over 300 acres, fantastic, and some many places to eat, and we will get into that. Certainly, we love to talk about the eating part of it. And we're going to take a segment here and talk about golf. And one of my favorite things to do, has my favorite golf course up there. And so we're going to be enjoying that. You're our WMOQ-FM right here, the Marc McMain Show. And Doug Hollingsworth is your host every Friday with Sweet Tea Travels. My lovely wife, Judy, is my co-host today. And we're going to be right back here on the Marc McMain Show.
When it comes to tasty treats, the only place you need is Stone Mountain Pecan Company. Enjoy fresh, high-quality Georgia pecans along with a huge selection of your favorite nuts like almonds, cashews, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazilian nuts. Plus delicious mixes, dried fruits, candies, and Southern Pecan coffee. Stone Mountain Pecan has it all. And the best part, it's all online at stonemountainpecan.com or visit our country store on Highway 78 in Monroe. Stone Mountain Pecan Company. Something for everyone. Eat well, be happy.
I chuckled at a cartoon that showed a news conference by a United States senator who announced that he was divorcing his family so he could spend more time with politics. We may laugh, but the truth is many people make that statement every day. Maybe not with words, but with their actions. In fact, if a politician retires from his work to spend more time with his family, it becomes the lead story met with cynicism on the evening news, while the one who rejects his family advancing his career is commonplace. God tells us we should work hard to the glory of God, but He has clearly shown that we must have priorities. A relationship with God first, and family follows that. What does your focus tell you about your priorities? The Bible says that we have brought nothing into this world and we can take nothing out of it. It's good to focus on the things that last, like putting God first, and then family, and then people all around us that God loves. This is Bryant Wright, speaking right from my heart.
Visit rightfromtheheart.org and click television to watch our TV spots.
I'm Marc McMain, Republican for State Senate, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is former Congressman Jody Heiss. I know what it's like to stand up to the radical left, and I trust Marc McMain to do the same thing in the state Senate. I've watched Marc lead when he served as GOP chairman. He didn't just sit on the sidelines. He helped Republicans, including President Trump, win Georgia. So join me in keeping the main thing the McMain thing. Vote for Marc McMain on May 19th. Paid for by Mark for Georgia Incorporated.
Hey, good afternoon, 12:16. You're Doug Hollingsworth here on the Marc McMain Show. Every Friday we talk travel, Sweet Tea Travels, the name of the show. And today we have my lovely co-host, Judy Hollingsworth, who also happens to be my wife. We appreciate her coming in. She's done a great job in terms of helping me put all this stuff together. She certainly has been there, which makes it really nice to have a co-host that's done a lot of this stuff. So we're talking about the historical triangle up in Virginia, in the Chesapeake Bay area, basically, is where we're looking at. From Richmond to Norfolk to that area, if everybody knows where certainly those places are. But let's do a little history and talk about the beginning, as we have here. Jamestown.
Absolutely. Sorry, I just cut you off.
That's okay.
You're used to that.
No, it's usually the other way around, and it's usually the other way around.
Nobody would have known that.
Chastity, you got a stick over there that you can hit one of us. Get off key here.
Jamestown. So, first of all, I do want to say, such an amazing place for anyone traveling with children, with school groups, seeing the history in action. Certainly, it's history, but this area, the people put this on as if it were happening today. There is no better place to go back and learn than this area. So if you have anyone that you want to take, this is the place to go. So Jamestown, 1607 to 1699, this is the beginning of America. This place was settled on May the 13th, 1607, by the Virginia Company. Jamestown was the first permanent English settlement in North America. And I'm going to confess, I did not love history when I was in school. And if you did, I love that for you. but being able to experience history firsthand developed a deeper love for me. So we know that these settlers had some early struggles. They faced famine. There was a starving time in 1609 to 1610, and that just becomes so real when you're there and you can see. They had disease and conflict, and you can see the place where they lived in that Powhatan community. The survival and growth that they had to fight for with John Rolfe. He introduced tobacco in 1612, which became the economic driver in that area. And in 1619, he was the first representative to the assembly in the New World, and he convened at Jamestown Church. Just to be able to walk that area and know that you're experiencing the same place. Due to disease and the burning of the State House during Bacon's Rebellion, the capital had to move to a middle plantation that was later called Williamsburg in 1699. So today, this site is an archaeological site that is still managed by the National Park Service and Preservation Virginia, which is now called Historic Jamestown. And it is a living history museum at Jamestown Settlement. So, again, just want to encourage everybody to visit.
Absolutely. You don't want to not visit, even if it's just you and the wife, or you're probably not going to take your golfing buddies there. But, certainly we've taken a couple of our kids and gone there. But it starts off with this huge building that's a massive museum that is just fantastic to be able to meander through and just see all the different things that they had done. And then you get to go outside and see the settlement. Then you can go even down to the water and see the ships that they came over on, and very small quarters, just very unique. But that's right where you get off the ferry that I was mentioning earlier. So you want to make sure you take all that in. Time-wise, you're probably looking, if you do everything there at Jamestown, probably 3 to 4 hours, but certainly take in the museum. It is definitely worth of a lot of knowledge there. So please try to do that. But certainly enjoy the settlement, and they have the people out there that are going to tell you all about what they do in day-to-day life there. So.
And the replica ships?
Yeah, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria? No. That's not
You're trying to trick me.
I did. I thought I would get you on that. So, no, I thought, no, she's smart. She did take some classes of history there, but no, that's somewhere else in the United States that we've been to. That's exciting. But, all right, let's go. We've moved on up now, and Williamsburg is now the colonial capital. And let's talk a little bit about Williamsburg and what it did for those first few years leading all the way up to this wonderful 250th year anniversary.
Absolutely. So you've already told us that Williamsburg is now the colonial capital, and it was named in honor of King William III. It became the capital of Virginia colony after the decline in Jamestown, which I've already told you about. So it was the center of power for 80 years. It was a political and cultural center of Virginia, and I know right now they are working in Williamsburg to really recreate some of these scenes that will be filmed and shown on YouTube. This was the home to the House of Burgesses and the College of William and Mary. It was truly a revolutionary hub. There were leaders like Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson that influenced the path of independence before the capital moved to Richmond in 1780. The reason it moved was to avoid British attack. Today, this area has truly been restored unlike any other, and that is why we have the name Colonial Williamsburg. And we've already mentioned it is one of the world's largest living history museums.
Fantastic story there, how they go from right on the James River, right there at the mouth of the Chesapeake. And the James River goes a long way into Virginia through Richmond. A lot of stories that we could talk about that, even going into the Civil War portion there where McClellan would get on the James River but would not move. And so that's another time. But Colonial Williamsburg is basically set in the pre-Declaration of Independence. 1770s is really where they really start talking a lot about. Certainly we know the 1776 number. Continental Congress, it was 1775. So you have so many wonderful things there. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, George Wythe. Certainly Thomas Jefferson was a young man who went to the College of William and Mary. George lived north up closer toward Washington, D.C., which was not Washington, D.C. at that time, at Mount Vernon. So they all came down to the colonial capital, and this is where laws were made. Patrick Henry gave us his famous speech, I will not...
Give me liberty or give me death.
No, I was gonna mess with you again. I've not yet begun to fight. Now, who else was that? Was another one in the 1811. I was going to see if you chimed in there, but no. Certainly, right there inside the Capitol, and so that's a wonderful thing to do. So much to see and do in the colonial era. There, walking up down, you can actually talk to people who are living back in 1774. Talk to them about what they did. George Washington could be coming down the street on your horse, and you could talk to him. Thomas Jefferson, other people. I know you asked me in my questions here that one of my favorite things I love to do there in Colonial Williamsburg is certainly to see the actors reenact a lot of fun things that they have going on during the time period. So go ahead.
For our listeners, I want you to imagine that I'm going to assume many of you have never been. The people that are walking the streets, Duke of Gloucester Street, are dressed as if they are living in period time. So they're dressed, all of the buildings are period time. So they talk and act as if they are still living in the 1700s. That is what makes this such a wonderful experience, the kindness of all of, and we'll call them actors, of the people that are there. So Doug, tell me what your favorite thing to do is when you are in Colonial Williamsburg.
So many times I've been there. My parents first brought me there when I was about 10. Certainly didn't appreciate it there. Started going back again in my 20s, and just certainly I was a history major at college and enjoyed history. And this time period just is really my peak. The buildings are one of my favorite things, just to walk up and down the streets. On Dog Street, Duke of Gloucester Street, so they do call it Dog Street, but it's the Duke of Gloucester, which is Main Street, and that's where you get to see all of the big buildings like the Palace and the Capitol. One of my favorite things I love to do is going to Bruton Parish Church, and you better have a very nice straight back, because it's that old type church that had the pews, and they've got the old names on the pews there. That this was George Washington's pew, this was Thomas Jefferson's pew, this was John Marshall, who was later Justice of the Supreme Court, his pew. So the history, and to know that all these actual people who we are infatuated with, if you're certainly a history nut, walked up and down these streets, and it's just exciting time. I love just walking up and down the streets, going behind some of the buildings to see their gardens are fantastic.
And occasionally you can hear a drum and fife corps walking up the street playing. If you go out in the early morning, the light is soft, the crowds are thin. You'll hear the sounds of the town waking up, horses, footsteps, even hammering from the tradespeople. But Doug, you got to be honest with these people. I mean, come on. You don't go there every single year to walk up the Duke of Gloucester Street. Please tell everybody why you go every single year in November.
We're hoping to talk to somebody here in a few minutes, and that's probably one of my main things I love to do is my favorite golf courses there, right behind the Williamsburg Inn. So that's very special, and we'll certainly talk to Jeremy when he calls in, hopefully in a few minutes, and we'll be able to talk a lot about that. The food is fantastic. Do
you have a favorite tavern?
Tavern's got to be Christiana's Campbell's Tavern, which is specially for seafood. Mrs. Campbell had, certain times of the year is when the Burgesses met, a couple of times, usually in May and October. So we're going to get back here in just a minute. We'll finish talking more about the wonderful food they have in Colonial Williamsburg. Doug Hollingsworth, along with the better half here, Judy Hollingsworth, the co-host, is with you today on Marc McMain Show, and we'll be right back here.
When you walk through the doors of Campton Restaurant, you're not just here for a meal, you're part of a tradition. I'm fourth generation owner Josh Parker, and for nearly 40 years, families in Walton County and surrounding areas have gathered around our tables to share stories, laughter, and good Southern cooking. From crispy fried chicken to heart-healthy daily specials, there's always a plate waiting with your name on it. We're open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays. So come on by, make yourself at home, and experience Campton Restaurant, where family tradition meets every meal.
Are you looking for new tires? Well, look no further than Madison Car Care. They have the largest selection, and you'll always get the best price. They also handle a wide range of auto repairs, from the small things like oil changes and wiper blades to the big things like suspension, parts, and radiators. They offer all kinds of accessories, from toolboxes to bed covers, side steps, and they even install those awesome ranch hand bush guards. Give them a call at 706-342-4774 or stop by at 1040 Confederate Road in Madison.
Youngblood Tractor in Madison is proud to be your local Massey Ferguson dealer. Massey Ferguson has been building straightforward, dependable, and affordable tractors and farm equipment for 175 years. Massey Ferguson right now has the best lineup in their 175-year history, and there has never been a better time to upgrade to a Massey Ferguson tractor. Youngblood Tractor carries the complete lineup of Massey Ferguson tractors, ranging from the 22.5 horsepower subcompact all the way up to the 130 horsepower mid-range utility tractor. And with one of the largest trailer inventories in the state, you'll always have a way to get it home. Youngblood Tractor also carries the complete lineup of hay equipment, including the legendary Massey Ferguson 1840 square baler, as well as implements like rotary cutters, batwing cutters, box blades, grapples, pallet forks, and more. They're great financing promotions to take advantage of, so give us a call today at 706-342-2242. Youngblood Tractor also has experienced parts and service departments to take care of you after the sale. Visit us online at www.youngbloodtractor.com or stop by and see us at 1600 Athens Highway in Madison.
Good afternoon, 1232. You, Doug Hollingsworth, right here on the Marc McMain Show. Sweet Tea Travels every Friday. We're talking travel. Today we have my lovely co-host with me, my wife, Judy Hollingsworth, and we are in beautiful Virginia's historic triangle and my favorite place out there in Colonial Williamsburg. And so before we got off the air there, before we're going to get back and talk about some great food in Colonial Williamsburg, Jeremy, she was asking me about my favorite thing to do in Colonial Williamsburg. I'm like, well, there's so many. I've been coming for decades, Jeremy. I said, but golf, just, it's a whole story about that. And so, folks, on the line here, we have Jeremy Hijack, and he's the director of golf at the Golden Horseshoe Golf Club in Colonial Williamsburg, and it's right behind the beautiful Williamsburg Inn. So, Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Judy, for having me on today. Looking forward to having a good conversation this morning.
Well, we're excited. We're appreciate it. I look forward to meeting you the next time I'm up there. And hopefully Jeff told you how my love for this area is, and certainly for the golf course. But we don't want to spend a lot of time talking about us. We want to talk about your great product there and what you have. I love playing the course, but let's just talk about the Golden Horseshoe, and you kind of explain to people the different courses that you have available up there, Jeremy.
Sure. Would love to, Doug. So we've got 3 great golf courses here. For many that don't know, we have the famed Golden Horseshoe Golf Club Gold Course, which was opened in 1963 by Robert Trent Jones. It's gone through a couple of renovations, most recently by his son Reese Jones in 2017. And we just updated the golf course, freshened up the bunkers, took out some trees, added some new putting surfaces. Great top 100 public golf courses that anybody can play. And I think one of the most charming things about our golf course here is the elevation changes and how it uses that to accent the golf course. We have no homes around it, so it's just a great natural environment. And to which we just hosted a fam trip for the International Golf Association of Golf Tour Operators, and they didn't have enough good things to say about it.
I
so that was
bet.
great.
Tell us a little bit about the green course, sir.
Sure. We have the green course, which is a Reese Jones design, opened around 1995. Another great golf course that we can really stretch out from a golf tournament challenge perspective to over 7,000 yards. Again, it sits back in the trees with no homes. We've seen a big resurgence of play there recently, as our team is going through some efforts to revitalize the property a little bit. So if you haven't been out for that in a while, that's a great test. And we opened the Shoe Golf Course last year on July 1st, which is our Reese Jones designed par 3 golf course, which gets great reviews. The shortest hole is about 40 yards, longest hole is about 140 yards. And it's a nice, easy play. You can walk it in about an hour. And, folks come out and bring their kids, and a great place for people to start golf. And it's just a good little test of short game, too, for those guys that are seasoned.
It's absolutely beautiful. Saw it in person last November, and played the old par 3 course you had there years ago, but then y'all just scrapped that and came up and started this, and it is certainly for anybody who wants to play golf. They would love to play this little par 3 course, and it's great. You can just take a couple of clubs. You don't have to take your whole bag, and very easy walking. So, but my favorite is the golden, the Golden Horseshoe Golden there. And Jeremy, I tell you, Mr. Jones did a fantastic job with all the par 3s over water, which I think is just extremely cool. My signature hole, the 15th 600-yard par 5 that I have parred a couple of times. I'm okay. I don't play as much as I used to, but let's talk about also your golf packages. You got all kind of things that you guys do, from juniors to couples to company outings. You have so much things to do. We want to make sure people know how they can find out more information there, Jeremy, when you finish.
So, of course, you can go to the Colonial Williamsburg website and look under Stay and Play. We do have packages available there where you can stay right here on property. We have multiple hotel options, from the Williamsburg Inn, which was built in the early 1900s and is a 5-star destination. And right across the street, directly across from the clubhouse, a 1-minute walk, is the Williamsburg Lodge. We have a more value property down the street called the Woodlands, which is just like a standard hotel. And then we even offer some super unique stuff called the Colonial Homes, where you can rent an actual Colonial Williamsburg house, which has multiple configurations, and stay in it and get a real experience as to what it might have been like a couple hundred years ago here. And all of them get you access to our golf courses and practice facilities and some discounted rates. And we also work with wholesalers like Golf Zoo and Golf Pack and Virginia Golf Vacations to book one-off packages. So if you're looking for more golf than we can offer you, if you want more than 3 rounds of golf, they can help you out with neighboring golf courses as well.
You have so many in the area. Certainly, I've played a few of those, and certainly had the PGA Tour in the area there down the street from you for many years, and then had the LPGA right behind it. So a lot of great things to play and see there. If you're golf nut, this is where you need to go. I certainly try to make sure people understand that, but also just point out that you need to stay in Colonial Williamsburg and walk right out the back door, either at the lodge or the inn, and just, go and hit some balls, take off. Why don't we talk a little bit about weather? Because I know that different times of the year it can be a little dicey, can be a little humid. Why don't we talk a little bit about maybe some best times maybe you think people can come up?
Yeah, so the latter half of April, certainly all the way through the middle part of June here, the weather is fantastic. The humidity's down. The daily, high temps are in the 70s and 80s. The mornings aren't very cool. Golf courses are just waking up right now and just kind of coming into their own. Our putting surfaces are phenomenal. But then we get through the summer in July and August, it can get pretty oppressive here and pretty warm. So if you don't mind some warm weather, it's a great place to come because we're not super busy usually. And then back in the fall, when we get done with that, fall aerification in mid September, the absolute best time to play golf in Williamsburg is in late September, October, and early November. Again, the humidity goes away. The daytime temps are great. The golf courses have had all summer to shape up, and normally by then it is just phenomenal. In early November, the leaves change color there for a couple of weeks, and adds a little spice to the landscape.
We want to make sure people colonialwilliamsburg.org and just look up golf in the search engine there, and then stay and play packages. But trust me, one of my favorite places. You can come to my office and see all the different pictures of certainly the famous picture overlooking the beautiful 16th Island Green that Mr. Jones did, looking up 17, and then finishing there on 18 is beautiful. So
that 16th hole was one of the first island greens in the country too.
Yes, and I hit it, Jeremy. I hit it now and then, so it's just depends on what level, because you tee down. Right. Off a hill, which is a beautiful picture, and it's absolutely beautiful. But hey, we appreciate your time today, buddy. I look forward to meeting you when I get back up there, God willing, later this year. And thanks for calling in today, and we will certainly continue to promote, help all your certainly your employees out. I love Jeff, love Glenn. They've all been great friends of mine for years, so I look forward to meeting you and you being part of that package. So. Thanks, Jeremy. I know you're busy this weekend, 1st of May, a lot of things going on. So tell Jeff thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Will do, Doug. Thanks for having us on today.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, there you go, Jeremy Heydrich. He is the director of golf at the Colonial Horseshoe Golf right there in Colonial Williamsburg. All right, co-hosts, we're going to get back to some food. You've been there. What's some of your favorite places to eat?
Well, I certainly enjoyed eating at the taverns, and we were talking about Christiana Campbell's Tavern, but there was another tavern that we enjoyed eating at.
King's Arms,
yes.
maybe, yeah.
Did enjoy King's Arms.
And that's more in terms of, that's more of the meat. I don't know if they really call them steaks back in those days, but just more of a flair for rabbit and, some meaty bowl of soup, which is really good. But
I did not enjoy rabbit.
Well, rabbit is probably not on my list either.
I think it was more the traditional desserts. But anyway.
Oh, absolutely get the desserts. But go ahead.
I'm just saying people need to definitely take in the tavern delights. And I want to say when we went to Christiana Campbell's, we got a handwritten note because we were there on our anniversary. And it was just a very nice touch.
From Miss Campbell.
Absolutely.
That's kind of neat, and
yes.
She's still around after all these years.
But we've also eaten out in the Williamsburg area at some great places, some seafood, barbecue, great places to eat. So always ask the locals where they eat, and you'll get some good recommendations. So
there's where you can use and go to visit Williamsburg.com, and they've got a lot of the things that are outside of Colonial Williamsburg that you can find in terms of the dining and places to stay, things to do. Busch Gardens, right down the street, south of Williamsburg. A lot of fun for the kids there. I have never opened the doors there. Probably those days are long gone. Unless some grandkid wants to maybe get us on the seat next to him. I don't know about that. But
Busch Gardens is beautiful just by the name itself. You can tell for the gardens. I have been once, and it was absolutely one of my favorite of that type of venue to go to. Lovely place to visit.
A lot of fun. That's what I'm saying. There's so many things to do in this area. It's certainly worth your time to plan a trip to go. Take the kids, definitely. Like I said, go to colonialwilliamsburg.org and find the webcams, and you can have some fun looking there on the Colonial Williamsburg things to do.
Before we wrap up Williamsburg and have to take our break, let us remind our listeners that if they visit during the spring, they're going to see beautiful tulips. We know we've already mentioned how hot the summer is, but Christmas is such a great time to visit because they have the grand illuminations. We have not done that, but we're hoping to go this year. This is the first 3 weekends in December, and it is a must for people who love fireworks and who want to see a colonial presentation of the holidays. And so we are definitely hoping to do that this year.
Looking forward to that. That is in December. So you are with Judy and Doug Hollingsworth here, Sweet Tea Travels, every Friday, 12 to 1, right here on the Marc McMain Show. We're going to get back and finalize our trip to Williamsburg and the Historical Triangle in just a few minutes.
You ever roll out of bed and feel like you lost a fight with a tractor? If your back's barking, your neck's complaining, and your knees pop louder than a box of cereal, it might be time for the Joint Chiropractic. There are no appointments, no insurance mess, and no sitting around all day. You just walk in, get adjusted, and head back out feeling human again. Now serving Covington and Monroe, whether you've been hauling, hunting, working, or just sleeping funny, the Joint Chiropractic keeps you moving smooth and feeling right. The Joint Chiropractic, because snap, crackle, and pop belong in your cereal and not your spine.
As spring blooms, so does engagement season. At P&A Jewelers, voted the area's best jeweler and jewelry store, and celebrating 50 years, we offer a beautiful selection of engagement rings. Let us custom create exactly what your heart desires. Visit us in person next to Quick Trip in Loganville or online at shoppajewelers.com. P&A Jewelers, where your forever begins.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Are you looking for custom t-shirts, golf shirts, or uniforms for yourself or work? What about a family reunion, a fundraiser, or sports team? Whatever you're looking for, Chris and Debbie at Blue Hound in Monroe can help you. Real Country uses Blue Hound for our golf shirts and t-shirts. They do quality work and they're great folks. Blue Hound is located at 111 East Washington Street in Monroe. Go by and see what they can do for you or call 404-307-3664. That's 404-307-3664. Tell them April sent you.
Need a little pick-me-up? We've got just the thing. From Motown magic to British invasion brilliance, from classic country gold to rock and roll that raised a gentleman. We play the songs that make you smile, sing along, and remember when life moved just a little slower. Feel good again with the 50s, 60s, 70s, and early 80s on Good Time Oldies FM 102.5 WKUN, where every song is a memory waiting to happen.
Hey, good afternoon, 1248 right here on a beautiful Friday, May 1st. We appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to us. Doug Hollingsworth sitting in here for Marc McMain. My lovely wife is co-hosting this week, and we're hoping to continue to bring her in more and more and talk about different things. So we still have one area of the historical triangle there in Virginia we need to talk about, and that's the beautiful Yorktown. I'm going to let you run right into the history and talk about the history since you're the history nut.
I don't know how I got history but I did. So I will do what I've been told.
You've been doing a great job.
That's right. So Yorktown was founded in 1691. It is a port town, and I love anything on water. So this is on the York River, and it was built to manage trade and taxes for Great Britain. So there was a climax here with the Revolutionary War in 1781. So we've got the American forces and the French forces under George Washington and Rochambeau, and this was just a battle that took place with General Lord Cornwallis. So y'all can all go study your history, or Doug can tell us a little bit more about that, because I certainly cannot. But what we do know is that Cornwallis surrendered on October the 19th in 1781, and this effectively ended this major combat in the American Revolution. Today, this park is managed by the National Park Service as a Yorktown battlefield, and it is definitely worth your time. And I would say if you could spend about a half a day there, that's a good plan for you. You're going to see the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown, and we'll talk to you a little bit about visiting the Colonial Parkway. It's about 23 miles. So there's a lot that took place there, and it's definitely something you need to go see.
You definitely got to take a ride on the Colonial Parkway, which interconnects all three of the Williamsburg to Yorktown to Jamestown, and you can just go round and round and round if you want to. But it's brick. It's all laid out in bricks. Beautiful. It's absolutely something you've got to do when you get up there. So if you see signs for Colonial Parkway, take off up there. Yeah, Yorktown spent a special day over there, Veterans Day last November. Actually got to spend some time there with some of their patriotic people on Veterans Day, which is kind of cool to say you're in Veterans Day in Yorktown and remembering all the people that died for us over there. Cool cemetery. If you like cemeteries, it's really a neat place. A nice little downtown colonial town. And so some fun things to see and do right on the water. You got to love that. But so we've talked about a lot. So I know you always have your hidden gems that you like to find in terms of places that we're love to go to. So why don't you tell us about some of your hidden gems there, Miss Judy?
I certainly will. And, I kind of feel old saying this, but when you visit a place like this, one thing that you need to do is walk through the graveyards, because you never know whose name you might see. But one thing that you and I like to do is look at the dates and see how old some of those grave markers are. So that is definitely a hidden gem. It may not sound like it, but it is. We also want to remind you to drive that Colonial Parkway. Peaceful, tree-lined, connecting all those three towns. There is no commercial traffic. It's so beautiful, the scenery and the history. We have visited the Jamestown Glass House. You can actually watch the artisan create the glass in the same way that it was done in the 1600s, and that is so beautiful. If you are into wine and winemaking, the Williamsburg Winery can provide a very relaxing break with some tastings and just kind of relax at a slower pace. We've already mentioned Busch Gardens, especially if you have children. There's such a plethora of historical sites. The plantations along the James River. We've got the Battle of Williamsburg. If you're a Civil War buff, please visit that. Williamsburg has some amazing shopping, lots of dining options, so many different price points, but Jamestown and Yorktown definitely need to be a part of your visit. But here's my pick for overall. Plan less, slow down, just wander. Let this place reveal itself to you as you slow down. But before we leave you, Doug is going to talk to you a little bit about America 250. We want you to visit America250.org. This is the year. So, Doug, before we wrap up, tell us what we need to know about America 250.
Certainly, we've been talking about it over the last few weeks, our great year and what this means for our country and all the work that people have gone in across the United States. But Virginia has one. It's the va250.com, and it's on top of the America250.org. So just look up America 250 and Virginia 250. You'll be able to find anything if you don't remember what we're telling you here. There's so much to see and do. I was looking on the Colonial Williamsburg site today, and each day you can click on May 1st, and it will tell you what's going on that day. So it's kind of cool. They have really worked hard over the last few years. They didn't wait till December and try to put this thing together. But America 250 across the country. So many things to do here in Georgia. check it out right here. ExploreGeorgia.org is our great tourism site that you can see and do a lot of different things. Certainly the state parks, gastateparks.org, and you want to make sure you visit a lot of our state parks. We have a lot of national parks here in Georgia. That it's just Georgia's just really cool. It's from the mountains to the sea. And the 250 Williamsburg 250 passport. So check that out. It's a mobile pass that lets you check on different areas across the region, unlock experiences, and kind of create your own journey through history. So there you go. I mean, there's a lot to do, and it's May 1st. So if you hadn't started planning, plan. But I'll be basically honest with you. It is a great place to visit in the summer, but you can just mark it. It's going to be hot there in that area. It's anywhere you go near the rivers and lakes and places like that doesn't have a breeze. It's going to be hot, so just expect that. And that's about it in terms of our trip. We got a lot of things still going on around here. Don't forget to get out and vote. Early voting started this week. Actually, primary is on the May 19th. Can't believe it's May already, so we're excited about that. We mentioned, don't forget, down at tonight at the Tavern Green. There you got the TAMS here in Monroe, Georgia. Make sure you do that. ColonialWilliamsburg.org. Visit Williamsburg.com. Some more information about what there is to do about what we're talking about. Actually, Chastity, I know you're going to get the crying towel out, but we are not here next week. We're going on a journey, and the journey just happened to be through our time here hosting the show, but we have to get out, and my lovely co-host and I are going to get out and do some things next week that are going to take us away, but we'll be back on the 15th.
Wonderful.
I got some ideas on what we're going to be doing there, so...
well, that'll be a wonderful birthday treat.
Oh.
Because it is your birthday.
Who?
And we don't want to go the day without...
Oh, yeah, the day. So can I be a Jack
birthday.
Benny and just, I'm 39 again? 39?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Of course.
It's anybody's birthday. You can do it. I want to thank my lovely co-host, Judy. Any final thoughts that wraps up on what you got going on and tell people about where we've been and what we got planned, or want to keep everything a secret?
Just want to say happy birthday to you, and very excited to be here today. Hope you will make that plan to visit Williamsburg, and I don't mind saying we are traveling to Washington, D.C. next week. We'll be definitely exploring the Creation Museum. So y'all have a great week. Hope to see you at the concert tonight.
Absolutely. Hope it warms up a little bit. Yeah, another trip to D.C., but we do have a daughter up there, so we're excited about that. Oh, I see. I hear it now. Okay, so
happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Some little birthday instrumental background.
Thank you, Chastity. We appreciate all you do for us
Doug.
here on the show.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate the show.
And your lovely, beautiful wife. It's always a treat having her in the studio. So
thank you very much.
She's a big help with what we're doing, and we're excited how we're going to build this show and do a lot of different things. So it certainly ties into what I do with my companies, and excited about that. So anyway, make sure you try to show up tonight on the Tavern Green out there and enjoy the TAMS. Bring your food, bring your water, whatever you want to do. They will have food there available. Make sure you get there a little early because they will close off downtown and you need to go around and things like that. But if you've never been, check it out. Stay for a little while. They will have a band before the TAMS, so there we go.
Super fun.
Thank you very much, Chastity. Have a great weekend. We look forward to seeing everybody in 2 weeks, and we're going to head out of Virginia today back here to beautiful Monroe. Thanks again. Doug and Judy Hollingsworth signing off here on the Marc McMain Show.